Good afternoon. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins, and I know it's late on a Friday, but given how intense this week has been, certainly between Election Day on Tuesday and the continued work on the proposed operating budget for 2026, we did not want to end the week without giving you clarity on where we stand for next year. We have been working relentlessly to make this budget as disciplined and focused as possible. Yes, we are working right up to the wire, but that's because we're leaving no stone unturned to ensure that this 2026 operating budget proposal is as tight and responsible as it needs to be. So before we head into the weekend, I wanted you to have this update. For me, this is my first proposed operating budget, and let me start by saying this has been an extraordinarily difficult year, and the budget process reflected that. We're operating in a moment of unprecedented uncertainty, driven by the Trump administration's decisions beyond our control. Federal cuts, shifting aid formulas, and tariffs have created instability in local planning in a way that we just haven't seen ever. It's unprecedented. There's no way to sugarcoat it. This is simply the reality of this moment, and we are committed to leading through it with transparency, partnership, and integrity. For 2025, for 2026, the $2.5 billion budget cuts almost all budgets in the county for 2026 by 8%. That includes the county executive's budget. It eliminates 180 positions and essentially cutting the workforce of our county by 5%. So we started this process with a staggering projected budget gap of $197 million. There is no hidden money to fill gaps. This budget is a result of the Trump turmoil. Therefore, we did what we could do without layoffs. All county departments had undergone an 8% across-the-board cut. That means a hard hiring freeze and elimination of 180 positions, which saves us $28 million. Reductions in contracts, technical services, and expenses, which saved $34.5 million. Reductions in our hourly overtime and our regular hourly employees of $11.6 million. Right-sizing social services relief, $5.2 million. Reductions in acquisition of equipment, $4.5 million. Reduction of materials and supplies of $2.6 million. For the 2026 proposed operating budget, the county is also facing unavoidable financial pressures from the federal government that are largely mandated or tied to essential services. The main contributors of that are rising healthcare costs of $65 million, pension growth of $22 million, increased social services relief of $21 million, transportation and utilization for children with special needs, that's $10 million, an increase in our county's debt service, $8 million. The proposed operating budget for 2026 is based on a flat sales tax revenue projection for 2026, while accounting for the significant cost increases across several mandated and mission-critical areas. In 2025, sales tax was originally budgeted to grow 3.5% over the 2024 forecast. However, the year-to-date collections through September 25 are flat compared to 2024. So the full year 2025 forecast is now $943.5 million, a $26.3 million shortfall below budget. For 2026, the county is estimating $970.4 million in sales tax revenue, which represents a 2.8% increase over the revised forecast of $943 million, which means it's essentially flat when compared to the original 2025 budget projection of $969.8 million. Another critical issue for us as a revenue source was the loss of MGM and its bid to build a full gaming casino in the city of Yonkers. That decision alone represents an estimated $17 million of lost revenue for the county, not including the ripple effects across Westchester's economy and the loss of sales tax. I want to remind everyone that in Westchester County, a portion of our county's sales tax is shared back with the cities, towns, and villages, with the exclusion of Mount Vernon, White Plains, Yonkers, and New Rochelle, which have their own tax programs. The share-back program helps ease that financial burden on our local municipalities' budgets, and as long as revenue is coming to the county, the initiative should help municipalities keep property taxes lower than they would otherwise need to be. People just aren't spending money because of all that chaos and uncertainty coming out of Washington. The instability created under Trump has seeped into Westchester County and is wreaking havoc on our local finances, and we are not alone. Local governments across New York State and across the nation are confronting the very same financial pressures. But despite the mounting financial pressures, I'm committed to protecting the programs that residents rely on most, maintaining those essential services, ensuring that funding continues for the programs that support those most in need, from vulnerable children to critical social services and community resources. That program includes supporting food security efforts, ensuring that the victims of domestic violence have the protection and resources that they need, offering free vaccine clinics, continuing to have recycling opportunities, maintaining free workforce development programs and services, including our one-stop local job fairs, job training, and entrepreneurial support. We've also budgeted to include continuing senior nutrition programming and TIPS telehealth initiative, and keeping our mobile crisis teams and youth mental health programming in place. We've also invested in low-income childcare at the tune of $16.6 million, continuing the Access to Counsel Eviction Prevention Program, $3.7 million, child care scholarships at $2 million, continuing to invest in our mental health clinic at $1.5 million, working with our federally qualified health centers at $1 million, and the HERO program continuing with $300,000. To address the remaining budget challenges amid the ongoing federal uncertainties and mandates, the county is proposing a tax cap compliant property tax levy increase of 5.27%, which is as allowed by New York state law. This translates to an average annual impact of $60 annually for every $500,000 in assessed property value, meaning for someone, it is less than $5 per month. Use the full cap amount to have $4.5 million of support for our sewer districts to ensure critical infrastructure needs are met. This approach balances fiscal responsibility with our continued commitment to protecting essential services for our county residents. I want to be clear. This is a Trump tax increase. This budget reflects tough but necessary decisions. Every department is facing an 8% reduction, and we're implementing a hard hiring freeze that will eliminate 180 positions, avoiding layoffs while still maintaining those critical services. But even with these cuts, the budget does not account for the potential of future reductions from the federal government, which is why it does not utilize any of our fund balance. Our goal remains clear: protect the programs residents depend on without sacrificing fiscal stability by tapping into our reserves. We're going to now submit this budget for the County Board of Legislators for their review. We recognize that there's significant work ahead for the legislators. We want to thank them in advance. We know they'll have their due diligence, they'll have their public meetings and public hearings, and then get down to where we are to be able to advance a process together and delivering a balanced, on-time budget. I know that there's so many people in here that we want to make sure to thank, but we want to start from our budget team, the budget director, Larry Soul, Christina Rampata, and all of their team, and for the budget department that have been working diligently since about June, when the call letter went out at the end of June, to get us to the particular place that we are today. From Our team here, our senior team, Joan McDonald, our Director of Operations, our Deputy Director of Operations, Emily Saltzman, and our Assistant Director of Operations, Karen Pasquale, all of them and all of the team members working really hard with all of the departments tremendously from all of that time to be able to get to the place where we are today that has a fiscally responsible and a fiscally stable budget to be able to present to the Board of Legislators for their due diligence. With that, Mr. Chairman, we will hand you the book. Wish you Godspeed. Good luck, Mr. Chairman. Right?
Thank you.
When, can you just let the folks know when the Board of Legislators meetings are, because you're not commenting on this, obviously, right?
The times. The public hearings.
Do we have the public hearings?
Next Thursday, Peekskill.
The 13th is one.
Yes, the Wednesday, the 19th, Pelham, and December 3rd here.
All right. Well, first off, yes, we will be having public hearings in Peekskill and Pelham on the 13th, and then
November 13th.
November 13th and
6:30 p.m. at the Peekskill City Schools District Board Administration, Building Administration.
I don't know that they can hear you,
Okay.
but we'll be publicizing. We will be having two public hearings locally, and obviously a public hearing at our board offices here, at the Board of Legislators chambers here per usual. That one's on December 3rd. This process of reviewing the operating budget is among the most important things we do. I should acknowledge that we are joined here by a number of legislators. The Chair of Budget and Appropriations couldn't be with us today, Joel William Johnson, but she is viewing remotely. I'll go across the room. We are joined by Legislator Erica Pierce, Legislator David Tubiolo, Minority Whip James Nolan, Majority Leader David Imamura, Vice Chairman Jose Alvarado, Majority Whip Terry Clements, Legislator Judah Holstein, Legislator Catherine Parker, and Minority Leader Margaret Kunzio. It's a lot to take in. We have, obviously it's a difficult budget, and this budget process is the most important thing we do. So the review that we're about to undertake is going to be a serious one. I think that's why we have so many of our legislating friends here from the legislature. The people of Westchester trust us to review and allocate this budget wisely. And we take that responsibility seriously, especially in these challenging economic times. We're going to be, like I said, reviewing every aspect of this budget, every page of this budget with every department. It's a process we do every year, but obviously in a year like this is a year that we need to be addressing it and hitting it hard. And I look forward to working together to pass a budget that is both fiscally responsible and serves the people of Westchester. Thank you, County Executive, for presenting us with the budget, and thank you to your team, who I know have worked so hard in the past couple of weeks and will be working hard with us in the coming weeks. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Good luck now. And we certainly want to make sure to say, again, thank you for all the legislators that have been here, but we can't thank all of the members of Westchester County, whether it's in the Budget Department, or whether it's Commissioner Habelos, who's in the room with us, from our Finance Commission, the county attorneys in the room, and certainly all the folks that we have that are working hard for the people of Westchester every day. This budget process has now kicked off to the Board of Legislators. It's a proposed operating budget for 2026, and the Board of Legislators will perform their due diligence to come up to a vote on December 8th, Monday, December 8th, and we'll go backwards through that time. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins. Thank you so much for watching, and continue to make sure that you check on the westchesterlegislators.com. They have all of the dates, and they also will have opportunities to be able to be heard and seen at those times as well. The budget director will make sure that we have those finance and those documents down to the Board of Legislators so they can electronically put them up as soon as possible. All right. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.